Hey, what's up, everybody? This is your boy Kenny, and this is Triangle Season 3, Episode 19, and the name of this episode is Double Dealing. Before I get started, remember, subscribe to brtbtv.com. I will have the address in the description box. And also, subscribe to the Triangle Fan Club on Facebook. You'll always get, the latest developments, and also different theories about the series. I mean, it's a great vehicle, and it's growing every single day. So definitely subscribe to brtbtv.com, as well as the Triangle Fan Club. So let me get started. This was a rather interesting episode, actually, and again, I might be all over the place. I'm not going to be long. And if I miss anything, put it down in the comments. I'll be more than happy to talk to you about it. All right. One scene that definitely stood out for me was the scene between Baron Fallon, and we also get to see Chadwick. For those who've been following the show, the first time we get introduced to Chadwick is in Davenport Diaries. He's Jabril and Fallon's cousin, and Baron's nephew. So we actually see that Baron and Chadwick we see that Chadwick has recently landed a really big deal for Davenport Industries in D.C. And, now Baron has kind of taken Chadwick under his wing. But I think it's also due to the fact that he also covered Chadwick's mess. Because those who actually watched the Doomsday episode of Davenport Diaries, we actually saw that Chadwick killed Jordan, a.k.a. Liberace is what I call him. And, I actually had this running joke with me and my best friend, Kenneth Tooth, shout out to him in the K2 spot. One thing that we had like this running joke about me calling him Liberace. The reason why I did that was because after Julian popped his cherry, he came to work the next day dressed in this avant-garde jacket as if like he was about to give a concert or he was about to serenade the office. It's like his whole wardrobe changed and he just came in there ready to give shows until Julian cracked his face. But not to get too much off topic. Well, we see that Baron has now taken Chadwick under his wing, and he wants someone to come and help advise him how to open and close a deal. The person he suggests is Fallon, and Fallon is so not for the bullshit. She is quick to denounce him, denounce his mother, his sister, saying that, because I think what happened is that after she gave birth to Raven and Julian, he sent her to live with her aunt in the Caribbean, and she said that her aunt pretty much treated her like shit, like she was like the modern day Cinderella, and she had to clean up after Chadwick and his sister Cassidy. So she really is not here for the bullshit, and she's so not here for him. And they go back and forth. I mean, it gets to the point where she starts talking about his mother like, I'm shocked your mother didn't bring you back to America with a church collection plate because you know how your mother is. And he was like, look, you better stop talking to my mother. And she's like, oh, what you gonna do? You gonna stand up on the chair? I'm like, Fallon had me laughing like shit when she said that. But little do you know, Chadwick is fucking crazy. So, pretty much they kind of go back and forth, but then Baron pretty much gets to the point where he has to talk to Fallon personally because she is not here to help Chadwick with anything. And she pretty much says that she don't trust Chadwick, that Chadwick ain't shit, and she don't want nothing to do with him. But Baron pretty much told her that, look, you will help Chadwick. This is family, this is business, this is a multi-million-dollar company. You will help him. Because this man just landed a damn good deal, and I want to keep that momentum going. So you will help Chadwick, and there are no ifs, ands, or buts about it. So we actually see that she does help him, but after she does, she begins to let him know how she really feels. That you are nothing but a pompous ass kisser, and you're sneaky, I don't fucking trust you, and regardless of what you think, you might got my dad right now, but my children are going to inherit this company. My children are next in line. So all your little groveling and ass kissing you doing is only going to get you but so far. So we see later on afterwards she meets with Baron at the house and lets him know that she's done, but then she lets him know that she don't trust Chadwick, and he's like, look, I'm very well aware of who Chadwick is. But then she also asks questions about Julian because there's still a lot about Julian she doesn't know, and we all know that Julian right now is staying with Jabril. And she wants to ask Baron, like, when he was here, you know, what was he like? And he was saying that, yeah, his business acumen was great. She's like, well, no, I mean personally. Well, he lets her know about a little situation that happened between them that was inappropriate. And if you watch Davenport Diaries, you know when Julian tried to put the moves on Baron, Baron completely flipped the script, was about to whoop Julian's ass, and he told him to get out of his sight. Because damn, nigga, you such a pansexual slut puppy, you was about to put the moves on your granddad. But at that time, he didn't know. But Julian does know about Baron and his secret relationship with Ian. You know, kind of dangling that, with pretty much has that bag of tricks that he's probably going to work with sometime soon. But, I'm talking about Julian, that is. But, he pretty much said that, we had a situation, but other than that, that's all that happened. And then we also get to see Fabian again. We actually saw Fabian also in the Doomsday episode of Davenport Diaries. He's pretty much their personal servant, also their stylist and everything. He's pretty much their right-hand man. But his ass up there at the damn liquor cabinet getting turned the fuck up. Fallon pretty much, goes in there to mess with him and shit and was asking questions about Baron and Tessa. And then, he starts kind of getting smart with her, like saying, like, sweetie, don't put yourself in in business that you don't know when you don't know what's going on. Or better yet, he pretty much is kind of in a way threatening her, like, watch your role, or the worst is yet to come. I mean, I'm not wording it exactly how he said it, but it was kind of along those lines. Like, he was kind of just throwing those subliminal threats to her, and she just blew him off. Like, she even kind of like threw money at him and shit. And he goes to talk to Baron, and Baron was like, yeah, okay, what did you tell her? Because she asked questions about him and Tessa. She's like, what did you say? He's like, I didn't say anything, I covered my tracks. And then he says, oh yeah, and Fabian, stay the hell out of my liquor cabinet with your drunk ass. I was like, it's like, he just know his ass been drinking. Then Chadwick comes, and Chadwick was all kind of disrespectful to Fabian. Like, look, give me a drink. I don't want no strawberries and that fruity and no fruity fucking cherries up in my shit. Just give me what I want. And then it was like, faggots. I'm like, Chadwick, ain't that the damn pot calling the kettle black? Because, trust me, you've been on the suspect list, and even Jabril called you out, back in Davenport Diaries. He's saying that you ought to be lucky that tent shit didn't stick with you. I mean, after all, we were young, we were exploring. So Chadwick does swim into the boy pool, but then yet he has insecurities and doesn't accept himself for who he is, which is why he's fucking crazy. But then he approaches Baron and pretty much asks Baron that, Fallon said that she has 2 children. And he was like, yeah. And he drops the bomb that Julian is Fallon's son. You literally could see Chadwick's heart drop out of his fucking chest. Because he's like, yo, so that motherfucker is next in line to inherit the company before him. The question is, what the fuck is he going to do? Because we already know him and Julian don't like each other. And I was so here for him fucking Julian up, in Davenport Diaries when he jacked his ass up and held him over the stairwell. I was so here for that shit because Julian, in his own fucking mind, thinks he's that he thinks he's that bitch and he can just come at anybody any kind of way. Chad will let him know, I'll beat your ass. So we already see that Chadwick and Julian are definitely going to be arch rivals. And I think in time we'll see how that's going to play out. Next, we also have a scene with Clint and Victoria. While in this scene, Clint is trying to sell back the waterfront property that he swindled Victor out of, he wants to sell it back for $2.5 million. Victoria already clocked in that, oh, this nigga need money, so he's up to some bullshit. But then she pretty much said, you know, get the fuck out of here. But then he had the nerve to tell her that she's smug and that she's stupid. That pisses her off, and she says that, boy, I will end your motherfucking ass. Do you know it will only take a second for my boys to fucking put a bullet in your fucking head? And then he says that, yeah, that will be crazy, but it will also be crazy that all of your you know, competition and as well as your enemies will know that you have a son, a black one. So he drops the bomb that he knows that Derek is her son. But if you've been watching, you know how he found out. He found out through Daniel's dumbass, and because, you know, Derek was running his fucking mouth when he should not have, because now the wrong person knows that, you know, pretty much knows that that Derek is her son. And he pretty much said that, look, you know, anything happens to me, everybody will know about him. And your enemies, and we all know that Derek is her soft spot, you know, because that's her seed. And he begins to let her know that, you know, we're not done. And, you know, as long as you as long as you kind of stay in your lane, nothing will happen to Derek. But I'm like, yeah, that damn Clint has already got something cooking. Now I'm going to talk about the scene, because now I'm going to talk about the DeLuca family, because afterwards, Victoria actually confronts Derek about it, and she said, didn't I tell your stupid ass not to tell nobody anything? And he begins, and when she lets him know that it was Clint that she heard this information from, he begins to let her know how he knows Clint. And we saw this back in season 1, where he goes to Fallon's house to look for Rob, and, you know, Clint tries to force himself on him, and he was able to get the gun, and he ends up shooting Clint. And then, like, it finally clicks to Victoria. She's like, yeah, and your boyfriend ended up taking the fall for you. And it's like, yeah, and if it wasn't for him, I'll be in jail right now. But then he finds information about where Daniel is, and he gives it to Victoria. Victoria finds Daniel. She summons both him and Jesus to this, like, private location where she's literally torturing the shit out of Daniel. Daniel's like, Jacob, I love you, Jacob. And she's like, who the fuck is Jacob? And he's like, it's a nickname. I'm like, really, Derek? She gonna fucking find out eventually that you was out here selling your ass. You might as well cut the bullshit and tell her. But he just said that, you know, then next you know, it gets all aggressive. So then she tells Jesus to fucking kill him. Jesus can't fucking pull the trigger, and he's literally just shaking with the gun to the point where Derek takes the gun from him. It's like, I fucking hate you. You deserve to die. And we kind of see that look in Derek's eyes, the same look he had when he shot Clint. He wanted to fucking shoot Daniel, but then it got to a point where he couldn't take it, and he was like, look, I don't want to do this, you know, but I'm not doing this for you, I'm doing this for me. So pretty much, Vicky was like, look, Jesus, get your damn cousin and you know, take him up out of here. And as far as I know, yeah, they killed Daniel. She killed Daniel's ass, and the boys are taking Daniel somewhere to be buried or to be rid of. And after they leave out, Derek and Jesus have a conversation, and Jesus opens up and lets her know, you really don't know the kind of person she is. She's dangerous. She killed my father. Then we also have a situation where Jesus meets up with Vicky, and Vicky kind of lets him know that she thinks he's real fucking soft, because if you would have left Derek alone, within a minute or so, he would have actually shot that gun. He ain't afraid to shoot guns. You, on the other hand, you want more responsibility, but how I know you're going to handle shit, because it seemed to me that every time I tell you to do something, you kind of pussyfoot, and I ain't got time for this shit. And then later on, he goes to talk to Mason, And he kind of breaks down to Mason and lets him know, I think I made the wrong choice. I should have chose you, but I chose my family because, one, I'm a gay man, but then I wanted to prove to my family that I could be a boss and I could run things. But then Mason was like, look, at the end of the damn day, Vicky may love you, and you may love your Aunt Vicky, but she's not your mother. So what makes you think she won't turn on you? So you need to watch your back, and even though we're not together no more, I still care about you. So I thought that was pretty cool. Then I'm going to talk about what all went down with everybody in the at the Mannequin Factory, and that includes Mason, Kiko, Jarrell, and guess what? Melanie's back. But Melanie actually admits that, to Kiko, that she's been getting sick a lot when she was in South Africa, and she's been getting morning sickness. So, quiet as kept, she thinks that she's pregnant, and then she also admits to Kiko that she had sex with Jarrell. So Kiko had her field day, and let me put it by the way, Kiko was working that motherfucking red hair. Them bundles was giving me life. Every time she turned, I was just like, yes, feed me, bitch, feed me. I just love me some Kiko. I mean, Kiko looked fabulous this episode. But, so she takes her to, the CVS and was getting her, yeast infection cream, pregnancy test. She got every damn thing. Even got her some makeup. Because she's like, we're going to get to the bottom of this. We're going to find out if you're pregnant or not. And we can definitely tell back at the Mannequin Factory, she at first is not, she didn't even catch, Jarrell that she was back in town. She found out through Mason. And we can kind of tell that she's kind of standoffish from Jarrell. But then later on, they do have a conversation. She hasn't said anything, but she's kind of saying that, look, I don't want this to get weird between us. I actually like the friendship we have, and I don't want to ruin that. And he says, yeah, cool, I understand that. But she's like, yeah, but I'm about to put a spanking on you when we play that game later. So she pretty much keeps up the front that, yeah, everything is all cool, but we know what's really going on. Then, Mason actually lets Kiko know thank you for holding things down, because he saw that the Mannequin Factory, a lot of work has been done. There's art on the wall and it's clean and business is going good. So he was pretty much happy that Kiko, literally, took responsibility and she's been handling business. So I thought that was pretty cool. Also, another thing is that there was a scene between Jarrell and Mason, and Jarrell actually finds Adonis's laptop. Now, this shit is juicy because, remember, Adonis wrote that suicide note. Like, there was the one that he wrote that really came from him, and then there's the other one that Jarrell wrote that was a fake one that actually got emailed to Mason. But I think in that laptop, he's going to see the original suicide note, which is going to make him go after Jabril, and he's going to come hard for Jabril once he finds that shit out. But that's just my hypothesis. I could be completely wrong. But I think, yeah, that the actual suicide note is in that laptop, at the Mannequin Factory. Next thing we'll talk about is Kiko and Sean. Sean is still trying to get back with Kiko. Kiko still want him, though. Even though Kiko is still upset about what he did with Troy, she still loves him. And it's obvious because you say you don't want nothing to do with him, but every time he wants to come and talk to you or whatever, you always let his ass in. So a part of you still wants him, but Sean is obviously making money, but she has no idea what he's doing. Let's just say we knew this. We pretty much somewhat got a taste of it earlier when he was getting fucked down by Kiko's daddy Clint. But it was more confirmed when we actually see that while him and Kiko are talking, he gets a text and he says that he gotta go, and he's like, we're gonna talk about this later. But Kiko's just like, I'm so over this shit, but she's not. She really isn't. We actually see the place he ends up going is Neil's house. So, quiet as kept, Sean has become the new Jacob. That's what he's doing. He's selling that ass to get that cash. So he goes there with to see Neil. Neil is drunk as shit, You know, he's been sipping on that brown juice, that Hennessy, and he can't maintain. He pretty much asks him to strip. I want to know what the hell I'm paying for. So Sean strips down. Woo! Okay, that's all I'm going to say about that. We all know. So, and Sean was looking good. So Sean begins to work, starts to kind of like unbutton his shirt and starts kissing on him and everything, trying to earn his keep. And then next thing you know, Neil stopped him, was like, nah, I ain't doing this shit. And he gave him some money, fish for your trouble. And then Neil just started being all mean and shit, was like, man, get the hell up out of here, nigga. Like, yo, Rose, raise the fuck up. Let's go. And Sean's like, yo, you ain't got to be getting all extra with me. Like, I don't know what it is, what you drinking, but you don't need to be drinking that if you can't hold your liquor. And he's like, oh, get the fuck out of here, nigga. So we see that Neil has reverted back to his old ways. So actually, when he got with Derek, and him and Derek started to do their thing, he wasn't fucking with no more hoes. He really wanted to be with Derek. But now that him and Derek ain't fucking with each other no more, and he don't have Jabril, he's now back to his same old shit, buying ass. So that's what I have, y'all. But again, if I missed anything, put it down in the comments. I'd love to talk to you about it. But subscribe to my channel. Click that bell so you can get notifications every time I drop a video. Also, subscribe if you not have already done so. Subscribe today to brtvtv.com, because this season 3 is fire, and there's a lot there's a lot there, and a lot of great acting, a lot of great writing. Yo, if you haven't subscribed, you need to subscribe to brtvtv.com today. Also, like this video, comment on this video, and share this video, and I will be back with you with the next episode of Triangle. So until then, take care.